May 20, 1941, 7:12 a.m. Maleme Airfield, Crete. The first Ju-52 thunders low over the olive groves, engines snarling like angry wolves. White silk blossoms erupt from its belly, 30 Fallschirmjäger, rifles clutched to their chests, boots kicking at the slipstream. You can smell the cordite before the chutes even open. On the dusty ridge above the runway, Sergeant Roy Farron of the Northumberland Hussars presses his cheek into the hot iron of a captured MG-34. His fingers, still black from yesterday's burnt-out Bren carrier, curl around the spade grip. The gun is German, the ammunition is German, the blood about to spill is German. Another trio of transports banks hard, doors yawning. Farron squeezes. Thump thump thump. The tracer stream stitches across the sky, slicing the first glider's tow rope like a hot knife through butter. A DFS 230 spirals, wingtip cartwheeling, silk canopy shredding into flaming ribbons. It slams into the hillside in a bloom of orange and screams. Farron doesn't cheer. He just swings the barrel left, finds the next target, and fires again. 7:18 a.m. The sun is a white coin behind the smoke. Ju-52s keep coming, wave after wave, like iron locusts. Each disgorges 30 more paratroopers, boots, helmets, and MP-40s tumbling into the blue. The 7th Flieger Division, Hitler's hand-picked sky conquerors, expects a stroll. Farron's world narrows to the MG-34's rear sight. Heat ripples off the barrel jacket. Spent brass arcs over his shoulder, pinging against the rocks where two Greek partisans huddle, feeding him belts faster than he can burn them. Thump thump thump. A second glider loses its tail. It corkscrews, spilling elite pathfinders like broken dolls. One chute snags on the twisted fuselage, the man dangles, screaming, until the whole mess plunges into the dry riverbed. Farron's ears ring. His tongue tastes of gun oil and dust. He doesn't count the kills, he counts the belts. 4 gone. 5. 6. Across the valley, Oberst Bruno Brauer, commander of the assault regiment, watches through binoculars from a hilltop command post. His adjutant whispers, "Herr Oberst, the gliders, they're dropping too soon." Brauer's knuckles whiten. 27 burning wrecks already litter the slopes. 1 machine gun. 1 man. The ridge is an inferno of tracer and silk. Farron's shadow dances in the muzzle flash. 7:31 a.m. The sky is no longer blue. It's a tapestry of smoke, burning fabric, and falling men. Ju-52 pilots yank their sticks, climbing desperately to avoid the murderous ridge. Below, the olive groves are carpeted with white canopies, some intact, most tangled around shattered bodies or smoldering gliders. Farron's MG-34 coughs, barrel glowing cherry red. A Greek boy no older than 16 drags another crate of 7.92 mm belts through the dust. His hands shake, but his eyes are locked on the sergeant. "More, Kyrios," he pleads. Farron nods once. No words. Thump thump. A glider's wing shears clean off. It flips, belly up, and dives into the airfield's perimeter wire. The explosion flings a Fallschirmjäger lieutenant 30 feet, his Luger spinning end over end into the dirt. On the ground, survivors of the first wave crawl through the scrub, trying to form up. Lieutenant Karl Becker, blood streaming from a scalp wound, screams orders at his platoon. Zoom hanger. Schnell. But every time they rise, Farron's tracers rake the line. 3 men drop. Then 5. Becker dives behind a rock, heart hammering. He came to conquer Crete in hours. Now he's pinned by a single gun. Farron's shoulder is numb. The spade grip has branded his palms. He doesn't feel it. He sees only the next target. A Ju-52 lumbering in low, doors open, men already jumping. He swings the gun. The belt runs dry mid-burst. Silence. For 3 heartbeats, the ridge is quiet. Then the Greek boy slams a fresh belt home. Farron grins, feral, exhausted, and pulls the trigger again. 7:47 a.m. Maleme's runway is a slaughter pen. Twisted Ju-52 fuselages lie like gutted whales, propellers still spinning in the dirt. Parachutes drape the barbed wire in funeral shrouets. The 7th Flieger Division's proud eagle has been shot to feathers. Farron's MG-34 is a red-hot poker. The Greek boy pours water from a canteen over the barrel, steam hisses like a dragon. Farron's uniform is soaked in sweat and oil. His eyes are bloodshot slits, but the ridge is his. Thump thump thump. The 27th glider dies. It was the last in the wave. The pilot banks away, trailing smoke, radioing frantic maydays to Heraklion. Feindliches MG Nest. Coordinaten, the message cuts to static. High on the command knoll, Oberstbrauer lowers his binoculars. His face is gray. 20 minutes ago he promised Crete by lunch. Now his regiment is bleeding out on a hillside because of one British sergeant and a stolen gun. He turns to his signals officer. Divert the second wave to Rethymno. Maleme is compromised. The word tastes like ash. Below, Farron eases off the trigger. The sky is suddenly, shockingly empty. No more engines. No more silk. Just the crackle of burning gliders and the distant moan of wounded Germans. He exhales. The Greek boy stares at him like he's a god. Farron spits dust, wipes his face with a sleeve that's more blood than khaki, and mutters, "Right." Tea breaks over. But the battle for Crete has only just begun, and the cost of this morning will echo through Berlin's marble halls. 8:15 a.m. Maleme Airfield. The smoke thins enough to reveal the carnage. 27 gliders reduced to blackened skeletons, Ju-52s scattered like broken toys. The 7th Flieger Division's first assault wave, 1,200 elite paratroopers, lies in heaps. Fewer than 400 reach cover. Farron finally releases the MG-34. The barrel droops, warped. His hands tremble, but not from fear. The Greek boy offers a cigarette, Farron waves it away. Save it for the living. Down on the runway, Lieutenant Becker rallies a dozen survivors behind a wrecked transport. They stare up at the ridge, waiting for the machine gun to speak again. It doesn't. Farron is already moving, slipping back through the rocks with the partisans, dragging the MG-34 like a trophy. At 11 a.m., General Kurt Student, commander of 11 Fliegerkorps, receives Brauer's report at the Athens command post. His monocle drops. Ein Einzelner man, he repeats, voice cracking. Student slams the table. The Führer will have my head. That night, in the Wolf's Lair, East Prussia, Hitler reads the casualty list. His finger stops at Maleme, 27 gliders lost to ground fire. He turns to Göring, eyes blazing. Your invincible paratroopers, Hermann. Tell me again how Crete will fall in a day. Göring, pale, promises reinforcements. But the damage is done. The Fallschirmjäger, once Hitler's pride, will never again launch a massed airborne assault. One sergeant on a dusty ridge has rewritten the war in the air. And somewhere in the Cretan hills, Roy Farron cleans his captured MG-34, unaware that his morning's work has just saved thousands of Allied lives, and condemned Germany's sky soldiers to history's footnotes. May 21, 1941, 4:30 a.m. The hills west of Maleme. Moonlight paints the rocks silver. Sergeant Roy Farron moves like a ghost, MG-34 slung over one shoulder, a looted Luger tucked in his belt. The Greek partisans, now 6 strong, follow in single file. Their boots make no sound on the goat path. Behind them, Maleme Airfield burns. German reinforcements landed at dusk, but the runway is still choked with wrecks. Every hour costs Berlin another company of paratroopers. Farron pauses at a crest. Below, a Fallschirmjäger patrol sweeps the valley with flashlights. One beam catches a white parachute snagged in an olive tree, ghostly, swaying. The Germans fire at shadows. Farron smiles without humor. Let them chase ghosts. He signals. The group melts into the maquis. By dawn they reach a stone shepherd's hut near Alikianos. Inside, a battered wireless crackles. A voice from Cairo. Nightingale reports Maleme stalled. Hold fast. Farron doesn't know the code name is his. Over the next week, his band grows. New Zealanders cut off from their battalion, Cretan shepherds with ancient shotguns, even a stranded RAF pilot who teaches them to rig grenades from condensed milk tins. They strike and vanish, a supply truck torched here, a sentry garroted there. Each raid carries the same whisper, the sergeant of the ridge. In Berlin, General Student pores over maps, red circles spreading like blood. He cancels the planned airborne assault on Malta. Crete was our last throw, he tells his staff. The Fallschirmjäger will fight on foot from now on, elite infantry, not. May 28, 1941, 2:20 p.m. Sphakia Beach, southern Crete. The Mediterranean glitters like broken glass under a merciless sun. Thousands of British, Australian, and New Zealand troops jam the shingle, waiting for Royal Navy destroyers that may never come. Stukas scream overhead, bombs stitching the water into white geysers. Sergeant Roy Farron limps at the rear of the rearguard, ribs taped with torn shirt, MG-34 cradled like a child. His band is down to 9, the Greek boy, 2 Kiwis with bayonets fixed to broom handles, and a one-eyed Cretan priest clutching a captured Schmeisser. German mountain troops, Gebirgsjäger of the 5th Division, crest the ridge above. Their MG-42s chatter, kicking dust around the evacuees' boots. Men fall. A destroyer, HMS Kelly, takes a direct hit and rolls, oil slicks blooming. Farron drops behind a boulder. This is it, lads. He racks the MG-34's bolt. 1 belt left, 50 rounds. The Greek boy, face streaked with soot, hands him a rusted grenade. For the curios. Farron tucks it into his breast pocket. Thump thump thump. The gun speaks for the last time. Tracers arc into the lead German squad. 4 fall. The rest scatter. A whistle shrills. The Gebirgsjäger charge. Farron counts them, 30, maybe 40. He fires in controlled bursts, each round a heartbeat. 20 rounds gone. 10. The priest stands, Schmeisser blazing, screaming psalms in Greek. A bullet takes him in the throat. He falls smiling. Farron's gun clicks empty. He draws the Luger. 3 shots. 2 Germans drop. The slide locks back. Boots crunch closer. A shadow falls over the boulder. Farron looks up into the muzzle of an MP-40. The German soldier, no older than 19, hesitates. He's heard the stories. The sergeant of the ridge. Farron pulls the pin on the grenade. See you in hell, Fritz. The explosion rips the ridge. Dust and silence. When the smoke clears, the German advance falters. The delay buys 20 precious minutes. Destroyers nose into the bay, gangways dropping. The last 3,000 men scramble aboard. Roy Farron's body is never found. The MG-34 lies twisted in the rocks, barrel split like a flower. In Berlin, Hitler signs the order, Großangelegt Fallschirmjäger Operation in Eingestellt. Large-scale paratrooper operations cancelled. Forever. On Crete, shepherds still tell the tale around fires, how one British sergeant held the sky long enough for an army to escape, and broke the wings of the Reichseagles with nothing but fire and will.